As soon as the scrap buyer turns to another customer, the clever man secretly sticks a 15-foot strip onto the measuring tape. He thinks, now my 10-foot gate will look like 15 feet, and I will get paid for 15 feet. The scrap buyer is telling another customer, I pay $1 per foot for scrap. The clever man says, it is very hot. Please measure it quickly. The scrap buyer measures the gate and says, it is 15 feet. The clever man asks, so it is really 15 feet long? The scrap buyer looks surprised and thinks it looks only 10 or 12 feet, but the measuring tape cannot be wrong. He says, come inside the shop and I will calculate your payment. The clever man quietly removes the fake strip from the measuring tape and signals his friend that the job is done. His friend then goes to the scrap buyer and asks, how much do you pay per foot? The scrap buyer replies, $1 per foot. The friend asks, are you sure your measurements are always correct? The scrap buyer proudly says, if anyone finds a problem with our measuring tape, we will give them a $100 reward. But if any customer tries to cheat us, we will keep their scrap and pay them nothing. The friend says, I also have some scrap to sell. The scrap buyer replies, bring it here. Meanwhile, the clever man asks for his payment. The scrap buyer uses a calculator and says, your total is $75. Just then, the same friend brings an old iron cupboard and asks the scrap buyer to measure it. As soon as the scrap buyer gets a phone call, the friend secretly sticks the same 15-foot strip onto the measuring tape. He thinks, today my scrap will be worth twice as much. Then he tells the scrap buyer, please measure it. I will wait inside the shop. The scrap buyer measures the cupboard and says, it is 15 feet long. Then he measures the width and it also shows 15 feet. He thinks, it looks only about 10 feet, but let me calculate it. He goes inside and says, your total area is 225 square feet, but you will not get even $1. The friend asks, why? The scrap buyer replies, because I already told you that if anyone tries to cheat us, we keep the scrap and pay nothing. The friend says, but I did not cheat. The scrap buyer says, you forgot to remove the fake strip from the measuring tape. The friend is shocked. Then the scrap buyer calls the clever man over, gives him a commission, and says, bring me a few more people like this.